Hello children, today I am going to begin with chapter 4, Earth's Structure. And I have divided this chapter into two parts. The first part comprises of Earth's structure, chemical composition, internal composition including core and mantle. The second part includes Gutenberg discontinuity, crust or lithosphere, and Mohorovičić discontinuity. Before I begin, let me introduce the chapter briefly. We get to know about the interior of the earth not only from the excavations and exploration of the interior parts of the earth, but from the study of seismic waves, materials thrown out by volcanoes, and the evidence from the theories of the origin of the earth. Now, what are these? These are the sources of information about the forces operating inside the earth. Now, let me explain you what are seismic waves and its types. Seismic waves are the earthquake waves that are in the form of P waves, S waves and L waves. Here, we will study about the two types of waves, that is P waves and S waves. What are these two types of waves? P waves are the primary waves which are able to reach the surface of the earth, that is, they can pass through any medium, solid, liquid or gas. Whereas S waves are the secondary waves which do not pass through liquids. The scientific instruments which record the seismic waves, they have enabled the scientists to know about the density, pressure as well as temperature of the interior of the earth. Now children, you all need to know from where the molten materials are thrown up during volcanic eruptions. The molten materials that are thrown up during volcanic eruptions, they rise to the surface of the earth from the magma chamber. Now, what is magma chamber? Magma chamber, these are the hollow spaces between rocks where magma collects deep inside the earth and remains in a fluid state. And by studying this material, scientists have come to know about the different types of materials that constitute the interior of the earth. Keeping in mind all these theories that led to the origin of the earth, scientists also study about the meteorites which fall on the surface of the earth. Thus, it is said that earth is said to constitute the same materials as that of the meteorites. The heat that is given out by the earth, from where it comes from the radioactive elements that are deep inside the earth. And by studying this heat in the interior, it helps us to estimate the exact temperature of the interior of the earth. Now let's focus on the topic, that is Earth's structure. We know that Earth is made up of several concentric layers. Now what is the meaning of word concentric? It means circles of different sizes having the same center point. The outer layer is called the crust or lithosphere. Some parts of the Earth's crust are immersed under the oceans, which forms the hydrosphere. Extending upwards of the Earth is enveloped by a blanket of gases which makes up the atmosphere. Now, we are going to concentrate on the chemical composition. The first one. We know lithosphere is also known as the outermost crust of the earth. What is its composition? The second point will let us know about it. Lithosphere is made up of rocks with large content of silicates, feldspar, mica, etc. Now we need to know about the subdivisions of lithosphere. That is, the lithosphere has been divided into two broad divisions, that is the CL and the CIMA. Now what does CL represent and CIMA represent? CL represents the continents, whereas CIMA represents the ocean. Now next point is, it is said that CL, that is the continents, they appear to float above CIMA, that is the oceans. What is the major reason behind it? CL appears to float above CIMA, that is continents float above oceans, because continents, that is the CL, they have less density compared to the oceans, that is the CIMA. Now next point is, the name CL is taken from silica, that is Si, and aluminium, that is Al, whereas CIMA is named after silica, that is again Si, and magnesium, Mg. This point I have already said that CL layer forms the continents while CIMA makes up the ocean floor. Now the last point tells us about the core of the earth, which also forms a part of the earth's structure. It is the most inaccessible part of the earth, lying at the center of the earth, and it is made up of nickel, that is Ni, and iron, that is Fe. Combined together, it is known as knife. So we can say that core of the earth is also called knife. Now these nickel and iron, they are heavy metals. They also have high densities and they are found deep inside the earth. Next topic is internal composition. Based on the above chemical composition that we have studied, the earth's interior is divided into three layers, that is core, mantle, and crust. Let's take the first one, that is core. Core is the most inaccessible part, lying at the center of the earth. Next one is, it is the densest part of the earth. Now why it is the densest part of the earth? Because core comprises of two heavy metals with high density, that is nickel and iron. Third one, the subdivisions of core. Core is divided into two broad divisions. They are outer core and inner core. Next point is about the thickness. Entire core is about 7,000 km in diameter. Let's see to the temperature. The temperature ranges from about 4,400 degrees Celsius to about 6,000 degrees Celsius. Next one, core is also responsible for Earth's magnetism. Why is it so? It is because core is composed of the two heavy metals having high densities, that is iron and nickel, and the magnetic field is oriented towards the north and the south poles. Last point tells us that inner core is in solid state. It is because of high density and pressure which have compressed the molten rock material. Next is the S waves. We have studied, this is one of the seismic waves, that is the secondary waves. These S waves or secondary waves, they disappear in the outer core. What is the major reason behind it? It is because that outer core is in a molten state, and at the same time we all know that S waves cannot be transmitted by liquids. Next one is mantle. Where it lies? This layer lies below the crust or lithosphere. What is its average thickness? Its average thickness is 2,900 km, and that makes up around 84% of the Earth's total volume. Now let's focus on the subdivision of the mantle. Mantle is also divided into two parts, the upper mantle and the lower mantle. Now we are going to study about the extension of these upper mantle and lower mantle. The upper mantle extends from the Moho discontinuity to a depth of 700 km. Now what is Moho discontinuity? It is the boundary between the crust and the mantle. Now it exists in the form of solid rocks and it is cooler. What is the extension of lower mantle? Lower mantle extends from 700 km to 2900 km. And lower mantle is hotter as well as denser compared to the upper mantle. Now the next one is asthenosphere. First we need to understand where this asthenosphere lies. Where is it found? Asthenosphere is found in the upper part of mantle at the depth of around 100 to 410 km, where it exists as partially molten state or semi-molten state, and this is known as asthenosphere. Whereas lower mantle is solid. Why it is solid? Due to high pressure. Next point is, as the pressure increases towards the interior of the earth, the density also increases. Likewise, the ranges of temperature. The temperature in mantle varies between about 1000 degrees Celsius to around 3700 degrees Celsius. With this, I come to the end of part 1 of chapter 4. Thank you.